Okay, we're going to look at some of the common mistakes and some fantastic training tips for the one arm snatch. It's quite a technical exercise, so bear with us, there is a lot to get through, and also make sure that you do practice this skill a lot before you go into using it in your training. Okay, so the first one we'll look at, this is a common mistake, is not bending that arm through the top part of the movement, so not performing the high pull. And Em's going to demonstrate the unfortunate incident that occurs, which is the bell coming right around and slapping you on the wrist. It's very, very uncomfortable. That's why we both wear sweatbands, even when we're demonstrating, because the bell does rest on the back of your wrist. So what you want to make sure is that on the way up, there is a bent arm and you're punching your hand through the handle. What that does is actually reduces the distance the bell has to travel around to your wrist. So it just comes to rest on your wrist rather than thumping on it. Excellent work. Okay, so the next one we want to look at is not fixating the bell, and this is why we teach progressions before you get to the snatch. So you want to be able to do a swing, you want to be able to do a clean, you want to be able to do a press and a jerk before you even think about teaching a snatch or practicing a snatch. And this is for a very good reason. So if you don't fixate, it's going to look like this. The bell starts wobbling all around the place. It's very hard for Em to demonstrate because she's so fantastic at what she does. So yeah, when the bell gets to the top, you might find it wobbling around all over the place. And this is because there's not enough fixation through the top. So what you have to do is go back to your single arm press and make sure you're nice and stable in that overhead lockout position. And then you can go into performing the snatch into a very safe locked position. And the other thing we want to look at, and I might get Em to turn front onto the camera for this one, is what we call side snatching. It's losing the ability to snatch in a very straight line. And you see how it comes way out to the side on the way up, and it can often come way out to the side on the way down, and you see this places a lot of stress on her shoulder as it comes to the top position. The other unsafe thing about this is on the way down, if she comes out too wide, her knees are in the way. I value her knees, and I know she does as well. Okay, so these are some really common mistakes that you have to address first. Keep the bell in the center line of your body, be able to fixate the bell above your head before you even think about doing too many of them. Here's some fantastic training tips though that will help you continue to train using the snatch and help you build your endurance as well. Breathing is really, really important. Now, there's two different ways we can breathe. If you're lifting a super heavy weight, then power breathing is the best way to go. So that's breathing out at the top position, holding your breath on the way down. So Em's going to demonstrate that. Big breath out, breathe in, and deep breath out. Only really good if you're doing a small amount of reps. Okay, now if we want to build endurance, we have to swap that breathing around. So we breathe out on the way down and out on the way up. Nice big exhalation on the way down and out on the way up. This will allow you to do many more reps than you would be able to do it the other way around and build fantastic athletic endurance. So they're the two breathing styles we want to focus on as well. As I mentioned before, make sure you do go through the progressions. Make sure you can swing first and foremost. Make sure you can clean, the reason being because that hand position needs to be perfect. If you fixate slightly awkwardly at the top and you don't land it into that right hand position, it's going to go all over the place, and that's where that wobbling starts to occur. So you've got to be able to get that right. And as I mentioned, make sure you can press the bell above your head, and that's where doing a jerk really helps with fixation. So there you go, some fantastic training tips for the snatch and some common mistakes you might address. So please take your time and practice this skill.